It was borked. Where were we? Ken. Alright, I've got a vague idea because I've just watched the beginning of this. What all did I say? I don't like jumping. I don't like running away at the beginning of a match. I don't like moving away until your opponent forces you to move away. I like fireballs, but I really feel like he got dissuaded from fireballs really quickly. It's like through like a couple fireballs. The reversal jabs. Don't do reversal jabs. Block your way out of mix-ups. If the opponent drops a combo, you want to be blocking just in case they drop it in such a way that like blocking is the way out. Reversal jabs will just are like they. If your opponent drops a combo, they'll probably just gonna hit you because like plus frame attacks are really. If you get hit by an attack, it's really plus frames most of the time. Or like hit attacks make the best frame traps. Your jabs are a liability. You could just get crush countered or something like that if you're just mashing jab during block strings. This guy's hitting like hella buttons and he's jumping a lot. He's like only moving by jumping. I really feel like he could throw up more Hadokens. I really feel like he could stick to the ground a lot more. He'd be ready for these jump-ins if he was on the ground looking for a DP. And there's the stun. Giving up space he didn't need to give up. Karin's answers to fireballs are pretty stiff. She can't really react to a fireball with a punish. She can. It depends on the range she's sitting at. Because she can just, like, Orochi or even EX dash through them. But those are very close options. What's all this reversaling from that far away? And what's all these reversal normals? This guy doesn't use defense at all, and he jumps way too much. Way too much jumping. Reversal normals everywhere, getting blown up by block strings. That's pretty nice. He's not doing any anti-airs. This is the problem. He can't do any anti-airs because he's never on the ground when Karin jumps. He's always committed to something else. That's your weakness here, Diahan. You are literally always getting interrupted because you're never waiting and watching. I think you need to stand still a lot more. You need to crouch and watch for jump-ins that you can anti-air. Or like, you know, whatever else that you can interrupt on reaction in case it's like a fucking Rasenha or something, but this guy didn't do any. But if you threw good fireballs, he'd be a lot more motivated to do hard Rasenhas. You need to stop jumping because if you're committed 100% of the time, you're gonna be interrupted 100% of the time. It's a really bad habit to jump a lot. I don't like giving up ground to fireball. Wait and watch. You have to back up to a range where fireballs would be safe, but that makes it really telegraphed. If you're only throwing fireballs where you can't get jumped in on, those fireballs are gonna be useless. And this Karin is jumping really randomly. I really would just like to see blocking into anti-air. That would have been a punishable jump, but he jumped too. And then he'd just react slower. I need to block those cross-ups. Karin can like only cross up there. She can't. She can do like a shorter dash. But it's reactable. I really don't like all the time he's spending midair. You need to watch for these the anti-airs. Ken has like some of the best anti-air in the whole game. Reversal Tatsu. That is 3 frames. I don't like it though. These fireball cancels aren't doing him anything. Not cross up normal. What the fuck? Never do random Tatsu. Sand short punishes that sweep. These normals are okay. That was a really early throw, and it would have been defensively teched anyway based on that throw timing. That's like not quite optimal. Oof. Wake up throw. That should not have worked. Need a miracle. Jumping! You got lucky. When you jump, that was it. That's what I wanted to talk about. That was nice. When you jump, you should have a plan. You should have a thing that you're looking to jump over. Okay? So like if you're fighting like a Ryu and you're like, I'm gonna read a fireball right now, and then you jump and then he throws the fireball, you get like a full jumping combo. Karin has like nothing that's jump punishable. So like there's really no particular reason that you should ever jump forward. Occasional jump upward might be okay to catch like a command dash or something like that, or like an Orochi. If you could land on that, that would be okay. But it's not even that good. And like jump forward is like, it literally doesn't interrupt anything. It's really not that, like, it doesn't answer anything that Karin's doing. There's no situation where it should work unless the Karin player is just bad. So I feel like you should definitely stick to the ground a lot fucking more. That's like a really bad habit that a lot of new players have, is they just jump all the time. That's minus, so you can like get some pressure afterwards, I think. Ken might even be able to uppercut punish it. I don't know how bonus it is. Ugh, all these jumps. You could punish Karin's jump with your anti-airs if you just fucking stayed to the ground and blocked and watched for it. That would shut down her approach a lot. A lot of things would change if you were just anti-airing. That would change like every other facet of the match. Crouch Fierce, I think, works. Ken's best anti-airs is medium uppercut, which you should practice a lot with because you can get it to auto-correct to catch even these cross-ups. That was really desperate, but it worked. I can't fault anything that works, but that was really desperate. I don't like these jump-ins. Ah, got gimmicked. If you blocked that, you would have won. I mean, if you blocked that and had the right punish. Karin can only do that elbow, that final elbow, if you like block the rest, basically. It has to be the third hit, and it's, I think, her only like third hit ender. Well, she can actually like do a slide, I think, on the third hit as well. She can do like 2 Rekka's elbow slide. But eating the slide doesn't suck at all, and eating the cross up into super, well, it only sucks if she immediately cancels into super. So that was just something you probably weren't ready for against Karin, but I would definitely say the things to take away from that was that you zoned all wrong. You got turned off of fireballs really quickly, and you threw fireballs. You shouldn't have been throwing fireballs, okay? Let me first say that. Fireballs were a bad idea, because he proved time and time again that he was extremely willing to jump. And what you should have done was convinced him that you had an anti-air capacity. Well, you should, if you don't already have one, you should fucking develop anti-airs. And then you should have used anti-airs until he realized that jumping him wasn't getting him anywhere. And then you should have turned on the fireballs. That was like the way to win that. That's the way to beat Karin as Shotos, is like get them out of that. That like really limits her footsie options, because although she's got really nice pokes, none of the pokes are really that good against fireballs. Fireball's like a poke with no hurt box. And she has her own little answers to fireballs, but most of them require a degree of prediction. And there was like he didn't need to fall back on that, because all he had to do was just hold up forward. You need to force people to like take risks, and he was already taking risks for you, so you didn't need to force him to take risks. But you weren't punishing the risks, so they weren't really risks at all. How did this emoticon get so popular? Give